Hey everybody, it's LexxMarie here again. Welcome to LexxMarie Intuitive Healing After Dark. I am going to have this little section, I'll call it moon showers. This video is for anybody, all humans over the age of 18, for the LGBTQ community, as well as heterosexuals alike. The information is based on fact as well as my intuitive ability. Yeah, I see dust. It's dust, don't worry. It always happens. I think it's just because my cat is like always around and always just, I see them all literally right now. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, so this video's purpose is to discuss how sexuality and spirituality kind of intertwine. As most of you know, I do use my psychic ability to help people grow and heal on their own path in their own way. I brought up what was most important to talk about regarding the subject and what came to me regarding the subject. I'm going to try to, because I could talk about this forever, so I'm going to try to kind of make it as short as possible, and so let's just get to it. So let's get to the after dark part. Okay, so the libido. I intertwine that with life force energy. And that is, of course, the overall energy that we feel. That force is also part of the libido. Because it's overall desire. Biologically, the sex hormones and associated transmitters that regulates the libido in humans. In psychoanalytic theory, it is referred to as the life instinct in general. Now, I read this on Merriam-Webster.com, and I kind of felt like it would resonate. The libido is an instinctual psychic energy that in psychoanalytic theory is derived from primitive biological urges that is expressed in conscious activity, can be affected by lifestyle, health, stress, age, over, under stimulation, even your personality, and more. Stress is very common with anybody and can alter your libido. This drive connects us to each other, to ourselves, and in turn, the universe. So this is to help lead and assist you on your spiritual life, embrace your sexuality as much as your spirituality. Now let's talk a little bit about life force energy. I have studied this. I do a lot of people say Reiki, that type of thing. That some people will say that is that life force energy. Same thing. It's still that force, that energy. It's all in the same. It's kind of like an umbrella term, if that makes sense. We can say life force energy, or AKA prana. A lot of people know that as well, is that's a name for it. You can say Reiki, however you decide to pronounce it. We won't go into depth right now on that specific part, but I can give you another explanation. The cosmic vibrational energy that surrounds all of us. Life force intelligent power. This force sustains the mind, body, and soul. When unstimulated, it can only be recharged by this life force energy. Your research on that to look deeper into it, but even anybody could do this. Now, whenever you meditate, you're bringing that life force energy into you, recharging yourself. And that's, I recharge chakras and help fix chakras, and take out any little kinks, things like that. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I just wanted to kind of make a broad statement about what that. But simply, this energy, this force, it keeps you alive, functioning, and recharged for this life and into transition into the next. Now, most of us, whenever we were younger, were taught that sexuality was, shameful, wrong. You couldn't embrace it, and we're given either like a slap on the wrist or even worse, depending on the circumstances and how old you were and things like that. If it was done, sometimes even if it wasn't done in your control, and sometimes if it was. Especially during the times that we're very curious and adventurous, during puberty, making some of us feel shameful in a sense. There are tons of different circumstances that would make you hinder your sexuality and your life force energy alike. For example, who has had some traumatic experiences before or after puberty. This and other circumstances and different situations could have a different effect on everybody, and does have a different effect on everybody, depending on the person. They could overstimulate or understimulate their libido, therefore leading it to be unregulated, in turn hindering our whole total spiritual experience as a whole. There is a healing that can take place there and transcend your sexual and spiritual experience and open up new horizons within you. You can and are able to feel partial, full bliss. Why would the universe give us such a beautiful feeling if we weren't able to experience it, if we couldn't experience it? If it was right at our fingertips but we weren't able to use it. It's natural, and we are humans, we are flesh. We want to feel that feeling and get as close as possible to ourselves and to the universe. This is a very easy way to do so as well. And this is not something to be shamed. Some religions has taught us that spirituality and sexuality are almost opposite forces, seen as sinful or shameful. But sexuality was embraced and respected for thousands of years and even considered sacred, in which it is, for thousands of years, as an expression of nature's life force. And this life force is what I use in my psychic sessions. It's connected to all of us. We are all intertwined. When I use this energy, this life force to receive my messages, it's the same thing. So we're all connected in that way. Anybody can do what I do. Anybody can feel what I feel. So it's not, this life force energy is within all of us. We just have to open our heart and mind and soul to it, and then it'll be more accessible. Sexuality is seen as consciously or unconsciously done. So I beg you, be conscious and learn yourself. In other words, masturbation. Orgasm is self-care. When you learn yourself, you learn and accept, you learn to accept and respect your life's path when you learn yourself, another part of yourself. Now, I'm not just talking about the spiritual aspect of it. When you sexually learn yourself and you are able to do that for you and put yourself in that mind frame, it gives you the power for yourself, it gives you control, it gives you something that you know you can do for you. You are able to learn but accept more of your life's path whenever this happens. It's very similar to someone saying you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. It's the same thing when it comes to your sexuality. And I know a lot of people relate to that. If you don't fully love yourself, if you don't even know how yourself and how to get yourself there, then how do you expect anybody else to do it in the way that gives you that pure bliss? And this will also, if you are with somebody, or polygamy, monogamy, whatever you do, and when you're single, but it helps partners learn each other as well whenever you get to learn yourself. And it really does help partners thrive, because both of them, they care about themselves, they respect themselves, they learn themselves, and so they were able to then go on and do that for somebody else. I read something by Amy Jo Goddard, and it really stood out to me. Sexuality is to spirituality as sensation is to higher thought. Sexuality is to spirituality as pleasure is to joy. Sexuality is to spirituality as erotic is to purpose. Sexuality is to spirituality as creativity is to divinity. I hope that resonated with you guys. I wanted to make it short and sweet. But with that being said, I used to have products that I would transmit this life force energy in, and I would, ship them out to my clients or whatever they were. Usually it was crystal jewelry or crystals, and I would cleanse them. I would put that Reiki or life force energy or prana, however you want to, however you express yourself in that way. But that life force energy is what I would infuse into these items. You can feel when it's activated, and when things are starting to be, when it's starting to be cleansed and things like that. I also set an intention for the use of whatever product it was and the whatever they wanted out of it. Whether it be like, if it was a crystal, they were trying to get rid of negative energy at the time. So I would give them a crystal that resonated with that, as well as cleansing it and giving that intention for them. And so it kind of boosts the power of the crystal or the object. It could be in any object. And that's what people don't understand either. It doesn't have to be like a crystal. It could literally be something that you hold dear to you. I can do it with any object. and I would ship it out and things like that. Or, you know, you could, if you were in the Houston area or whatever, you could pick up, or I would drop off, that type of thing. I would use my ability to conjure a clear validity, if that makes sense. It ensures that healing will take place, and that's what I'm here for, the healing and growth aspect of anything. So when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to giving you objects to help you, that's what it's for. This is all for growth and all for healing in your own way, because everybody's path is different. So I like to treat every single one as such accordingly. It only makes sense. And that's with anything. I know a lot of you, you know, obviously you work. If you treated everything protocol, sometimes it's not the best thing to do, because you know, everybody's different, especially when it comes to people. If you work with people, everybody's different, so you have to treat them as such. And if you don't, people start to realize that you're kind of treating them like just a you know, a case, or just to this, just to that, and they're not special. And that's not okay, because everybody is special in their own way. What healing needs to take place, you ask? I don't know. You tell me. Did you have a sexually traumatic experience? Did you have any traumatic experience at all that kind of kept you stuck? And that can also distract you from being stimulated and feeling good and having that sexual experience. Do you simply want help recharging your chakra system or energy system? Do you need help finding yourself? The products that I'm going to have, like my psychic session, will be a stepping stone and a major breakthrough in your life path. I and we are here for you. So that energy, that life force is there for you. You just have to have it in your possession, in your grasp, and know that it's there. And that's what these products are for. Like I said, it could be any product. If you want it, if you wanted it to be cleansed, I can do that. But I'm going to start having more products of my own that I will ship out for you. Again, orgasms are a part of self-care. Feeling that feeling is a part of self-care. Okay to embrace it, and it's okay to learn yourself. And I can tell you, I feel very open to talk to my supporters, of course, about my life and little things that have happened. You know, I've went through sexual traumatic experiences, and I will tell you from personal experience, once I started to realize, and this was all, and this was, you know, a few years ago. It wasn't anything, you know, I'm 27, so this was my mid-20s when I figured this out. When I was younger, when I was starting to be sexually active, I never really fully got the full experience that I desired. And I was like, I wonder why, you know? And a lot of different times, you know, I also did go through things sexually that I didn't have control of. So that was a part of my healing process that I needed to actually know. And then I needed to be comfortable with me. I needed to be comfortable with who I was, my body, and what I can do with it on my own, in my control. And once I started doing that, I felt so empowered. Nobody can take that away from me. I can love myself the best. So anybody else now that comes around, you have to meet that. And if you don't, that's okay. And so you start to have a lot of different acceptance. And so I want my supporters to feel loved and embraced, and I want them to love themselves to their fullest. And this is why I'm doing this. I hope that you support it, and I'm going to be having photos and videos and things like that. I want every single person, every body, every shape, every personality, every anything. I want you to embrace who you are and love yourself completely. And the sexuality, spirituality will intertwine with that, and you'll start to see. It could be with my products, it could be with your own, but you will see healing and growth in some way. And so that's why I want to do this. Thank you guys for watching. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, my YouTube, and then I also have emails that I put in my descriptions of my videos. So if you haven't followed those yet, go ahead and start following those social media accounts, and that's where I'll start posting everything, and that way you'll know moving forward what the next steps are. So All right, guys, y'all have a great week, and I'll talk to y'all soon.